Now we're live. Hello, we were talking for 10 minutes, 5 minutes, not even live. The level of professionalism, I've only done 27 of these before, but okay. So I don't know why Pete didn't turn off his camera when he came on. Mine was off. And then I was like, okay, we might as well just say hi to everybody. We really exist. I'm Phil right here. there's, there's there's Pete right there. And there's Renee right there. Um, and this is the last BJ of the year, so we're gonna make it a good, nice, wet one.
Ooh, I like wet. Shit, I'm
And we
wet
got
already.
we got Renee on because we love Renee. We are in love with this
uh,
woman, and we're just gonna give a year review. But you guys, do you see this? I'm gonna chat at the bottom here. It says click on this link to join the conversation. And we've had this before where people have called in, I guess you could call it, and we can put you on the stream and you can tell us about your year. And I would love it if you could tell us about your year in retrospective, because as you can hear from my voice, I'm overcoming whatever the fuck because everybody got sick in some
mhm,
the last couple of
mhm.
weeks. Um, and so I don't
Yeah,
want to
it's
talk
the
about much.
flu bug going
Yeah,
around.
Yeah, no, but it's a strong one, man.
it was a strong one. It had me knocked. It knocked me out.
Yeah, I almost never get knocked
I
out
I
by it.
got
Yeah.
it, but I got a flu booster 2 weeks before, so it was really mild. I basically
Oh
just
boy.
lost my appetite, had a bit of a temperature,
Okay, well you
and the
fared
dry
better than
cough. I did
us.
get the dry cough as well.
Oh, the dry cough is the worst. Yeah, so
Yeah, that
we're
is
on
the
that
worst.
level.
Yeah.
But I
I
wanted
had
to
a
just
fever, the chills. I was like in bed,
Yeah, that's
aching.
full blown flu. That's
Yeah, I had a
that's
full blown flu.
the full
Flu.
Monty.
look at this baby. She's all tired and everything. So, by the way, thank you,
Yeah.
Renee.
I'm doing like
Uh,
a kid. You know when a kid is tired, they start rubbing their eyes because they don't want to go to
Yes.
sleep. That's basically it.
and by the way, guys, Prandada Prem. Although I can't see the rest of your name, Tantra. I guess that's going to be
Yeah,
underlined Tantra.
it's
So,
Tantra.
Prandada Prem underlined Tantra. Check her out on Instagram. Check her out everywhere because she's like in the internet. I don't know if Renee. No, I know Renee exists outside the internet because I've met her personally, but she's like everywhere. Um, so check her out, and I'm so happy, Renee. Thank you for coming on because I don't celebrate holidays. I don't go to Christmas parties, New Year's parties, or anything. So my way of bringing in the end of the year is just being with people that I enjoy. So you're one of these people. Of course, Pete is. Unfortunately, we're not going to have our annual Christmas movie date this year, but so that's how I ring it in. And you guys out there, call in and let us know what is going on with you. How was your year? How did it go? And the way I want to run this, guys, a little bit is I have a bit of a year in retrospective here that I found, but I want us to talk about kind of also personally what happened to you. So I'm going to start off with Renee, darling, because she's the guest. Tell us the struggles, the conquests, the challenges, whatever. How was this year for you? And especially if you can, Renee, tie it in to for expats, especially new expats, because it's tough to be in a different country. Even tougher if you're facing a worldwide global pandemic, I would imagine.
Yeah.
So, any advice you can give, any words of wisdom, just let us know how your year was. There you go.
Excuse me.
Yeah,
um,
we're getting an idea.
Yes, you're gonna hear a lot of
yeah.
coughing tonight, people. If I
It's so funny because wow, my year. We've still been in this pandemic. Has it been almost 2 years? Has it been two
Yeah, it
years?
seems pretty
I
much over now, but yeah, it's officially
Pretty much. I don't know if it's pretty
for
much over. We just got
I don't
Omicron.
know. We hit 0 deaths in Sao Paulo 2 consecutive days. That's pretty goddamn
Oh,
impressive.
that is impressive. That is impressive. So,
Yeah.
I think for me, um, one of the things is this pandemic has been a blessing in disguise for me because it's forced me to work virtually, and I know that a lot of people who are expats here, or more people wanting to become an expat and live someplace else, have more opportunity to live somewhere else and work virtually, right? And so that's been really good for me, um, in terms of business wise. I've been able to reach more people and connect with more people. Um, then it's just been like, for me, honestly, like I'm constantly going through my work, my healing work, my process, and I found that this year, like, there's a lot of people that are expats and they move to another country because they got shit that they're working on, right? They got shit
Mhm.
that they could be escaping or whatever. Everybody has their stuff, you know. Um, and so, like, I just had to really let go of some people. Like, I found that because I'm very social, I try to make sure everybody's happy, try to make sure everybody's good. Because when you live in another country and you're an expat, you don't necessarily have a great support system, right? And
Yes.
so recently I'm just like, I have to stop doing and like making sure everybody else is fine. And I just had to really start taking care of myself and worry about myself. And that also meant letting go of some people, letting go of some friends. So it's been a challenging year. It's been but good. Like, I think that everything that we need to do, has happened. Everything I've needed, and you know what? I still have you in my life, Phil.
I know, which is amazing because she was like cutthroat this year, man. She was cutting people off, kicking people out of here, like
I
silently
don't,
kicking people out
and
of.
I don't know if it's the age thing that I turned 47, and it's really like fuck it. Like, my mantra has really been like fuck it. That's my mantra, and I'm just like, you're
I'm
not
for it.
valuing my time, my energy, what I'm doing. Fuck it. Like, I'm done. Like, I'm not wasting my time and energy for people who don't deserve it.
I feel you on that. And I turned 40 this year, and I've already been on fuck it mode for a couple years. But at 40, it's like now it's like hardcore. So I'm with you. I'm with you.
Hmm.
Because of the challenges, especially now due to some of the challenges globally, it's even more important to choose your friends wisely.
Oh, it
Know
really
who's in
is.
your circle. Know if there's people that are going to help you build and not, just keep you stuck where the fuck you are. Anyway,
Hmm.
and what about you, Peter? Peter's living a life. He's living the good life.
Yeah, except for my current residence, which has been been a bit of a problem in the last 48 hours, and provided some highlights to my year, like living with a rat for 2 weeks wasn't pleasant.
Oh yeah,
But
when the rats fell from the ceiling, I
yes,
remember
when the
that.
rats when my ceiling literally rained rats, that was not cool. But
Yes.
I like it here. Besides that, but basically what Renee was saying, working from home as well, it's kind of been like a convergence of 7 years of investment in making contacts
Hmm.
and having the opportunity to work from home. Because if I was still working in person, there's no way I would be getting as much work as I am now, even with um, the contacts that I've made, because there's a limit on to how much work you can take when you got to
Mhm.
take the bus here, you got to take the bus there. And looking back at it now, on the teaching group on Facebook, there's a lot of ads now offering in-person classes, and it's like like you have to be joking. There's no way I would go back to that unless it was the only option, and
Hmm.
it's not. And the wages are really low too. I mean, they're not terrible. I think I saw one that was like 55 an hour, but man, like if you want
Now
me
for
to
Sao
teach it,
Paulo today, come on,
yeah,
55 more. I won't leave the house for that.
yeah, if you want me to be there in person, you're paying for my time the second I leave the door until the time I get home. You're also paying my bus fare because I no longer have a billet Uneco. I lost it, and it wasn't worth my
Hmm.
while to replace it because I didn't take the buses often anymore.
Hmm.
So yeah, you're paying for my time the second I leave the house to the time I get back, and that time
Hmm.
is going to cost more than 55 an hour. Like you're
Yeah.
looking at like 2 to 300 an hour to get me
Hmm.
out in person. And people say, well, no one's going to pay that, and it's like that's fine. I don't I don't need them to pay it because that's the money I'd be losing if I went
Hmm.
and did this job. So yeah, it's been great because I've transitioned into a lot of other work besides teaching. I only teach like 12 hours a week now, and besides that, I'm doing a lot of consulting, interviewing for some pretty big multinational companies, editing science journal articles, all stuff I can do in bed. Literally, I can work in bed all day. The only reason I don't is because it's actually not comfortable. You need to be sitting upright. It's nice
Yeah.
to have something at your back, but otherwise, man, yeah, it's been great.
I feel you. By the way, I'm drinking some cachaça here, so cheers to everybody. A little cachaça to ring in the year with some honey, Renee. So I'm kind of healthy.
Tea.
Renee's drinking some tea. Um, and well, to echo what everybody else said, yes, 2000, I guess 2020 was rough. Whatever the beginning of the pandemic, that was that was kind of scary as far as, how am I going to pay the rent? Because you go from
Yeah.
having a lot of work to zero work in one
Mhm.
week.
Right.
And for about 3 months, I dug into those savings deep. And in fact, I made a Facebook post about I finally, I got a salary where the money ended up in the positive side because it had been so long that every salary I would get it, but I'd still be in the negative. So it's a good feeling to finally be able to say, "Ooh, we're building." So 2021 has been a building year for me, and especially working a lot at the high school, and I got to see my kids graduate last year, so it's real nice to be
Right.
back at the school too. And as everybody else said, the flexibility of teaching online. I taught two kids here online, and one's already in Mexico. The other one's going to New York in January, and we're going to keep having classes. So, you know, how can you beat that? So,
Right.
uh, to bring this to the expat angle, guys, you that are coming down here, value your time, but know that you have a lot of flexibility. You have a lot of flexibility now, Renee. Didn't they? You have this digital nomad visa now, although it's
Y-
expensive.
Yeah, it's expensive. But yeah, that's coming out. That's coming out. I don't know if it's here in Brazil yet, but it's close. So I think that's gonna
Well,
be a really good option.
I thought it was here.
Was it? Because I just told
Yeah.
someone about it and they said they didn't see it.
Oh, Brazil for digital nomads and remote workers, a full visa. I thought I had read something on it saying that it had been, what do you call it? Had been approved, but it was just like you have to invest a lot. That's the only little bit. So actually, the podcast that I did that has the most views has got like about 1,000 views was about digital nomads. So I know you guys are out there. So you have to think about this. Think about the fact that now you can 100% work from anywhere. If you're going to
Mhm.
transfer that work to Brazil, live off of some US dollars. This is, and I guess we'll have to talk about him a little bit, Watif, who left us this year. But something Watif would talk a whole lot about is making money in Brazil, but not Brazilian money. Make
Right.
that foreign
Mhm.
currency in Brazil, and especially now with the exchange rate the way that it is. Not so good if you're making reais because shit is expensive. But if you are making foreign currency, you are good. I'm going to take Renee's lead and turn off my camera too, guys, because I look a mess. I got a cold and I need to lie down.
Yeah.
Um, but that's the main thing is realize that now you have this opportunity to really, really, really make money down here, and it's possibilities are endless. So it's a building year. Okay, I think everybody that's down here in Brazil think of this as a building year, but you know some things, excuse me, that did happen down here in Brazil. We had a long, tough time. People ask about, what the situation is in Brazil as far as vaccinations and things like that. Well, it's kind of good news. If what's the Renee? You're in Rio. What's the vaccination rate in Rio? Because I know São Paulo, it's almost like 80% of the population or something is vaccinated.
So last I saw, which might have been a couple weeks ago, I think it was like at 70%.
I think though both states are 100% at 18 and over. So like whatever percentage isn't, it's the 18 and unders who are.
Oh, I got you. I got you. Yeah, I mean, this is good news. I mean, whether you believe in vaccines or not, I don't want to get into that. But at the very least, hey, and I used to say this even before the vaccine started rolling out, at least if the vaccines are out there, even if it's a placebo effect, things are going to open back up. If we know
Yeah.
people are getting vaccinated, things are going to open back up. And this was the year where things started to finally open back up. And
Mhm.
we got to go out again,
They
enjoy
didn't
some
really
shows.
close that much here in Sao Paulo to begin with. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. We didn't
But
have a major lockdown, but
I'm
enough.
actually
Go
I'm
ahead.
actually looking at statistics right now, and it says of all of Brazil, it's 66%, 66.6% fully vaccinated.
Yeah, the Northeast is lagging behind,
Yeah. And
which is
the US is
understandable. There's like,
61.4%.
Now, Renee,
wow,
when things
Yeah.
started to kind of, because what closed, which was for me the most important, because restaurants and stuff like that didn't close, but a lot of bars and a lot of places like that closed. What was the first thing that you went to do? What was that first thing that you really missed from the pandemic times that you went out and said, "Oh, well, I'm gonna get all crazy tonight"? By the way, before you answer,
Hmm.
hello, Jeffrey, Mr. Kovad, what's up?
Hey, Mr. COVID.
He's in there. What's up, Jeffrey? Good dude. Love
What's
Jeffrey.
up?
If you want to join us, Jeffrey, just click on this link. That's open to everybody.
Yeah, join us. I'd love to have you on here, Jeffrey, and talking with us.
Definitely, definitely a good dude. Um, but what was that first thing, Renee, that you're like, "Ooh, I'm so glad this is open again"?
Listen, this wasn't something that I've done before, but it was something new. I started taking pole dancing lessons, and I was
Mm.
so happy that that opened up so I could actually go do that because I had been wanting to do pole dancing lessons.
I've
So
seen
I
some
was
of that.
happy about that.
That was very nice. Pete, you doing any pole dancing?
Yes, and
yeah,
I was
I
really
know some
happy.
of my students are doing this now.
Oh
It's
my
it
gosh,
makes me feel really
Very popular.
uncomfortable.
it's such a great workout.
Yes.
I
I have
bet.
another friend who's doing them. She always posts her stuff on Instagram. Juliana.
Pete, did you say it makes you feel uncomfortable?
But to hear my students say like, "Yeah, I can't wait to get back to pole dancing," it's like, oh,
Well, why does that make you feel uncomfortable?
I just
uh-oh,
kind of
psychologist coming out.
associate pole dancing with a different environment and a different purpose rather than a workout.
So let's get into this.
Uh-oh.
What's the
Uh-oh,
different
Pete.
Therapically.
environment and purpose you associate pole dancing with?
Well, strip bars, namely.
Mm-hmm. And what's
Yeah,
wrong with
and there's nothing wrong with that, but these are my students. I'm not supposed to, imagine them in that way, and sometimes it's kind of involuntary.
that? So you can't control
Like,
your
what are you supposed
bodily
to say?
urges. No, I'm just joking.
Amazing.
I'm just messing with you. I'm totally messing with you. But pole dancing has actually become just an exercise. And it
I
is
have
such
heard
a great
this. I
exercise
have
because
heard this.
it really works out your core, your core and your upper body and your lower body. I mean, it works out everything. I have a whole new respect for strippers.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh, just speak of the devil. My friend that I said does pole dancing just messaged me.
Does
Totally
he?
unrelated. And then I told her we were talking about pole dancing. I
Mhm.
mentioned you, but not by name. Oh, or did I mention her name? Well, there's many of those.
You
With
did mention her by name, but it's a very
yes, yes,
common
yes.
name.
There's many Julianas in Sao Paulo. So I think now she's ashamed of it because she posts
Oh
it
wait,
on
I think
Instagram.
I
It's
know
beautiful.
her. That does the pole dance. I'm just joking.
I'll send you her Instagram. She's really sweet. She's really sweet.
Okay.
Monica and everybody, we all know her daughter too, such as little sweetheart. But so that's cool. I've seen some of the stuff you've posted, and that is really cool. I can only guess what Pete was happy reopened.
Well, it's hard to say it's reopened because I haven't done it yet, but stuff that is gonna be coming, hopefully, unless like a new variant puts us right back to square one. And that's like stadium concerts, man. A lot of concert. There wasn't. I actually wasn't going to go to Kiss or Metallica in 2020, and I'm still kind of on the fence about Kiss. But I'm thinking like this year when those shows get made up, I'm gonna fucking go because I miss big stadium concerts and the UFC. Like I was gonna go to the UFC pay per view that was supposed to be held in Sao Paulo in May, and that didn't happen, obviously. So yeah, for me, it's like stadium concerts in the UFC because I could still go to shows, but the only types of shows you could go see really were like cover bands and like hidden away bars on the east side. And in the last few months, a lot of fairly big Brazilian bands have played shows in venues of like 1,000 to 2,000 people, and that's been great in itself. But to go see like a really big name in a stadium again, that's something I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I was gonna say whorehouses, but they never closed. So
Right.
the
Exactly.
thinking something that real. Oh, something I didn't get a chance to go to because I got a little sick last week of November. No, actually first week of December, right after Thanksgiving. Is I wanted to go to that salsa bar that I'm in love with. It's finally open again, so I cannot wait to go back there. So places where you get to dance up close with people. You
Yes.
know,
Yes.
And I want
that's
to go with you, Phil. I wanted
oh,
that the
you would
same.
love it.
So for my birthday, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, I went to Sao Paulo, and Watif took me to a salsa club,
Oh, cool.
a-
Well, there you
and
go.
we had so much fun. And I
Hmm.
forget the name of it now, but I would love to go salsa dancing. I love salsa dancing.
It's wonderful. It's called Ovelio Pietro. This one, and
Mm.
uh, I am in love with this place because it's just we don't get a lot of salsa dancing in Brazil. It's not the country for salsa dancing. So it's let me see if I can pull them up real quick. But yeah, that's just something that I'm looking forward to doing. And of course, oh, look at this, Renee. Look at this. Oh, I got it. Tell me this doesn't sound deliciously fun. Where is it? Velho Pietro. There's a Facebook page, but they're on Instagram too. La Noche Latina. Uh-oh, hold on a
Oh,
second.
Mm.
nice.
So we got salsa, reggaeton, merengue, bachata, cumbia, vallenato, which I don't know what that is.
Oh,
And
I
then at
love
the
all of
bottom,
that.
look, it's Saturday, December 18th. Come down, bitch. It's this weekend. And downstairs, they'll play some more traditional Brazilian stuff. Forró, sertanejo, bolero, bachata, samba gafieira. So it's like that old school forró. It's not that annoying stuff that you hear blasting out of bars all day.
Right.
Uh, and ooh, I can't wait to go to this place again. So I love it. I love me some Velho Pietro. And actually, just being back at school, I mean, I work with kids, man. I mean, it's okay to work with them online, but a lot of stuff, you got to do projects. You want to build something. You want to be in the presence,
Yeah.
do stuff like that. And they
I
made
was
all.
also sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm done.
Go ahead.
No, okay. Look at this. So some stuff that happened in Brazil. Beginning of the year was just a lot of people dying. Okay. But here, it's kind of on the topic that we were on. This very famous singer here, Bello, he was arrested because he was having these clandestine shows. He had a clandestine show in Rio. So that happened a lot this year, guys. A lot of clandestine. Remember, was it you? Oh no, Jeffrey left. But Jeff and I went into like a clandestine restaurant. We just knocked on the door and they're like, oh, yeah, just go upstairs. We're like, oh, okay. But I know Pete, I think, probably had a few of those experiences where,
Oh my God, my entire year was clandestine, at least until, I don't know, October.
how was it in Rio? Was there a lot of these hidden little concerts and stuff, brother?
Oh yeah, yeah, there were, especially like in the favelas. They all had their stuff going on, and it's so funny because even when they closed the beach and we couldn't go to the beach, we'd go to the beach in the favelas, like in Vidigal, because we're like, oh, the cops aren't going to go there and stop us. So people were still doing their things, you know?
Yeah,
And that's, I think, for a lot of people, that was a plus as far as foreigners because like Pete said, we didn't really have a lockdown. Like I'm saying, like Italy had a lockdown. Like you
Right.
just could not leave your fucking house. We just had some restrictions. Some places were closed.
hmm
Could only, the restaurants had to operate certain hours. Blah blah blah. So I think a few expats that came from countries that are a bit more were a bit more restricted felt a lot more freedom in Brazil.
yeah,
And it's true. You just do. Brazilian law is wishy-washy. It's like you can't
Yeah.
do this unless we're not looking. Or
Right.
unless
yeah.
it's in the
And
favela.
we had this, like, for the longest time the curfew was like 10 o'clock. But what I quickly found was that the curfew only applies if your place is like really visible, right? If you have one of these places like that pub across the street from me, where you have like a patio setting and you have open windows, so of course everyone can see you're open. Yeah, you're fucked. But there's a lot of places here where actually one of the more bizarre experiences I had was going to Manifesto to see some live music, and I think it was in March, and that was in the 10 o'clock curfew was in effect. And what they did is at 10 o'clock they just closed the doors because the only way you could tell it was open is if people were outside smoking. And they're like, yeah,
Yeah.
just smoke in the bathrooms. And so that's what we were doing. Like, you go to the bathroom, and there'd be like, half a dozen girls in the men's room smoking with their boyfriends. And it's like, okay, well, this is the new normal for now, I guess.
Yeah, or you can just pay the police, like the bar across the street from me that never closed down, ever, ever,
I
ever throughout.
remember that. Yeah.
There was
Like
no
when it was
police.
really hardcore, March, April 2020, that place was packed.
I know, it was insane. I was like, what the fuck? But anyway, but eventually we got the vaccine down here despite our president. But,
Right.
Yes.
unfortunately, a lot of deaths, man. I don't even know these people. But Terezinha, this was a, what was, I don't know who this is. Lazaro, he was a singer, you know. Oh, but there we go. I told Renee we're going to talk a little bit about the moon. This was nice. We had the super moon, the pink super moon, which could be seen from Brazil. Did you do anything,
Yes.
Renee? No, you're all into this stuff. Did you get
I
all?
know, I know. It was amazing. Even yesterday I could see it and it was just so bright and so big. So I didn't do anything like big. I did my own little thing myself personally.
Mhm.
I did a little hape ceremony. The full moons is really it's a really good time to release things that we no longer want, right? So But because
Like a bunch of people.
huh? Like a bunch
Like
of
a bunch
people,
of people.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I just did something really small, you know. Um, on a bigger scale, I do like to do. We were burning things, burning paper to release what what we don't want. I like having drumming in different circles, but yeah, this time it was just kind of really low key with just me, you
All
know,
right.
which is
Sometimes you
good
need that.
too,
That can be
which
good.
I think I really needed, you know.
I think this was the period where we went into our second quote unquote lockdown restriction, and this was a bad time for me. This was a time when I got really depressed. I think I got off of social media. It
Hmm.
was just because we had kind of got into a rhythm of like, okay, we're getting back to things, and if everything is
Yeah.
shut down again, I gained weight. I stopped running. I got all bent out of shape. I think Renee and I talked a bit during this period, and I
Yeah.
just told folks I need to take some time off. And so that's another thing, guys. I mean, it's stressful times. If you need to take time off, take it. In fact, listen to our podcast with Emily. We talked about, psychology and during this time. She's a psychologist and seek help. Talk to people. It's not a problem at all. You should not be ashamed to talk to people if you're going through shit. And I definitely was right around this time. So we had another death here. We're gonna scroll quickly through this. Timoteo, very famous dude. This guy died. I don't care. Okay, we're in May. May. This is so stupid. This is like the big news in Brazil. The end of Big Brother Brazil. I don't watch this shit. But Big Brother is in its 21st season in Brazil. And Juliette Fady was a big influencer already. So she got in there.
Yep.
We got some more people dying from COVID. But I think what really hit
Mm.
people was this, Renee. The death of Paulo Gustavo. Because although, he did admit before he died, before he went to the hospital, he was making some social media posts, really desperate. Like, I have respiratory issues. Like, what's wrong with this president? Why can't we get vaccines?
Oh
I want to
man.
take this vaccine. And then he went to the hospital. He was in the hospital for about a month and he died. And I think
Mm.
I think for me this was a turning point during the pandemic where people said, "Oh, it's not just a bunch of old people dying. Young people can die from this too." He's a very talented
Yeah.
young comedian, um, famous for "A Minha Mãe é uma Peça," where he dressed in drag as this impersonating what his mom was like, in his childhood. This really crazy, stereotypical Latin mom, Latino mom who's in your business and wants to
Hmm.
micromanage your life. And I'm not a huge fan of like Brazilian comedies, but this was cute. I was dating a guy at the time when we watched the first two movies. It was cute. Um, so it hit me a
But
little bit.
there's
I
a
was like,
third
oh
one,
shit.
isn't there?
There's a
I
third one. I haven't
swear
seen the
it's
third
Spike.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I
No,
think it
but I
was like
mean
the
coming out
biggest.
though.
No, no, it came out already. I think it was the biggest box office, national box office here.
Mm.
Um,
Right.
but yeah, he was 42 years old, when he died, and he was a gay actor. He left behind two sons, and so I think that was really impactful for a lot of people to be like, you know what, maybe we got to take care a little bit better with this COVID situation. And Bruno Covas, the São Paulo mayor, died right
Yeah.
after. Yeah, but he
Right
was,
after he got
Yeah.
elected.
yeah, he had cancer though. He was dealing with
Mm.
cancer.
Yes.
Okay, it's a lot of deaths, man. MC Kevin died, which I don't know who the hell this dude was, but he wasn't. Oh, I shouldn't say that about a dead guy. But okay, he wasn't the smartest person. You know, he was like high in a hotel, with some other bitches, and somebody told him that his
People.
girlfriend was
People.
coming, so he went outside the window to hide. Just that going outside the window when you're high and drunk is not smart. So he fell to his death. So rest in peace, MC
That's
Kevin.
embarrassing.
I think that's him. I hope it was. Oh yeah, there you go. He was in Rio in Ipanema. He fell from the fifth floor, trying not to get
Ouch.
caught by his fiance.
The
actually.
end result might have been the same though. Brazilian girlfriends are not that forgiving.
So we're getting into June. I want to know what was happening in your lives mid-year. How was it mid-year for you? Because I know the beginning of the year was a little wishy-washy for me. I didn't know what the fuck I was gonna do this year, if I was gonna make it or not. June, I think, is when I finally started to be like, okay, I can do this. How was that for you, Renee? What's some mid-year feelings for you? June 2021, June, July.
Trying to go back to think about that.
Oh, I can remember for me, it was like, because I was just coming off that depression, man. And it's heavy
Yeah.
depression. For those that don't know, by the way, I kind of wrote a little memoir um, about me. If you want to check it out, it is on Amazon. And that's a couple of my friends read it. They were like, oh, I can actually relate to some of this stuff. So I'm happy about that. But it's right there. And I think either the second or third chapter is about suicide and depression. And I just lay it all out there. I've been suicidal before, I've been depressed before. And this year, I wasn't so much suicidal, but I was like really depressed. I was like, shit, like life has no meaning type of depressed. Um, so, because everything stops, guys. When the whole world just feels like it stops, like you got to feel that a little bit, unless
Yeah.
you really work to try to fight past that and realize, okay, no, but I can still work, I can still see people, I can still do something meaningful, which is Pete, which I think is right around the time that we got back into doing, or I got back into doing the Brazil Expat Journal, and I invited Pete to come back. It
That's
might have been a
true,
little
yeah.
earlier though, I can't remember, because our first thing was about remembering Carnival, so it might have been a month or
Mhm.
two before then. But that
Yeah, I
helps.
think
This helps. This
Carnival.
is therapy for me. Yes. But anyway, Renee,
Yeah. So I
I was buying you what you think.
so I remember now. It's interesting because in May, June, I actually went to the States
Oh, I
for
remember.
some graduations, and my niece graduation, and then we did a road trip to Florida from DC, and it was actually kind of amazing because for the first time, I had a really, really good time in the US. Like
Mm,
I was with my niece and we were in a club. I felt like I was young. I had men buying me drinks. And I was like, I miss this. Like this doesn't happen in Brazil.
mm-hmm.
I was like, I was having a hot girl summer. Because in the States it's summertime. Here in Brazil it's the wintertime. Can you
Yes.
guys
Right.
hear me? It's like my internet might be cutting out.
No, no, I can hear it
No,
perfectly.
no, we can hear you fine.
Yeah, so I was having a hot girl summer, and it was just nice. And
Oh, now you cut out.
oh, okay. Yeah, I was just saying, yeah, I had a hot girl summer and it was nice. It was really nice. Like we traveled. I went to Texas, Miami, DC. Like had a great time. Took some Kazumba dance lessons. Like it was just a lot and it was nice. And I think
Hmm.
that was a good time for me to actually go to the States and connect with my family and friends from back at home because after being in the pandemic in Brazil, like I could feel myself like, getting depressed as well, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the fact that I was able to go there and have such a good time really, really just brought my spirits back up. And
Good.
I had such a good time. I actually almost thought about moving back to the States.
Oh, wow. And what state has the best dick? That's what I want
I
to know. Because you did a little tour. Because I know when
did.
I tour Brazil, I'm checking. That's like first. I'm like food, best dick. It's like I got a little checklist.
Yeah, so I did, I just got with old like exes, like nothing new. So
Oh.
yeah, so
That's sweet.
DC,
Yeah,
Delaware
tap
area,
tap in the reserve.
tap in the reserve. The go-to, which I know I could get, and I know it's gonna be good.
I'm with you. I'm with you. When in doubt, just call up those exes, man. Well,
Exactly.
June, Pete. Remember in June we had a serial
Yeah.
killer here in Brazil, Lázaro Barbosa, and he killed a couple people. And then it was like big news because this guy was like evading the police for like a month or something.
Wow.
20 days. Yeah.
Wow.
And the guy had already been arrested for double homicide, uh, theft, rape, and illegal arms, having illegal arms. And that, for those expats that are coming down here, is the Brazilian justice system. See,
Yeah.
how are you a free man and able to kill more people after being convicted for double
Yeah,
homicide?
and we're heading into that time of year too, people. Stay off the streets, man.
Oh
Christmas
yes,
is the most dangerous time of the year.
it definitely is. I don't know about in Rio. Well, Rio's always dangerous, but here in Sao Paulo, the
They let
streets
all
are
the
like
Really
prisoners
is.
go home for Christmas, and
yes,
like
Christmas
half of
go
them
home
never
for
come back.
Christmas. In the ones that aren't in jail are just looking to get those Christmas presents you just got, those iPhones and whatever's. So yes, please be watchful. I was out on Saturday night in downtown Sao Paulo, and it was like a ghost town. It's empty, and I'm like, what? What? Why is it so empty? And then I forgot. Oh, because it's Christmas time. A lot of people travel. A lot of people leave the city, so it becomes a little bit more dangerous because you don't have
Yes.
so much movement
Yeah,
and
it's the week
folks.
between Christmas and New Year's that's actually the worst.
Oh
I
God,
remember
yes.
in 2016, my roommate got carjacked. Well, not carjacked, but he was in his car and he had like everything stolen but his car by two dudes on motorcycles
Oh
with guns. They had guns and they took all
yes.
his shit and then they just fucked off on Raposo in opposite directions.
Oh God, yes. So we got the Olympics. We had the Paralympics. And we have more deaths, man. A lot of people died this year. That's what's happening in Brazil. More people die, more actors die. And we're jumping right down into September. Luis Gustavo died. I don't know who that guy is. Oh man, a lot of people died. It's supposed to be an uplifting podcast. It's not really
I know,
uplifting.
right, Phil?
Uh, and then on October, the one piece of international news they put is that Alec Baldwin killed somebody.
Yeah.
Now that was crazy. It's like, how does that happen? Like, I didn't know they're not supposed to have real bullets in the
I
Not only
know.
that, but why was he pointing the gun at the cinematographer? That
Well, no,
was
I
just
think it was
weird.
one of those shots where they had to do like shoot at the
Yeah,
camera type shots. But it was kind of similar to the whole what's that Brandon Lee situation.
Brandon Lee,
Yeah. So it's sad,
and
but
it's America.
it's America, baby. And then we're in November. Oh, and Marília Mendonça
Yeah, that was the
just
biggest, I
recently
think.
died. Famous Brazilian country singer. Um, and she was 26 years old, died in a plane crash in going to, she was on her way to Minas Gerais, but um, did not make it as the plane crashed down. And she was a very popular
Didn't
that
make
was
it out
so
of
Brazilian
the
actor.
sad.
airport.
Yeah. And Virgil Abloh died. Okay. Louis Vuitton, very famous designer. That's more international. And then we're kind of where we are now. We got Omicron. I just went today, guys, to because I've been teaching this little boy all year, real little cute little thing. And I told his mom, "Look, end of the year, I got a little bit more time. Let me do a class in person." And she's like, "Cool." So I show up there, and the mom is just coming back from New York because they're moving to New York in January. And she said, "Man, everything in New York is getting shut down." And
Mm.
Yeah.
she met so many folks. She's like, "Oh my God, so many people there are getting COVID." And she's like, "This person I know, then that person that I know, and the person of a person that I know." And actually, I was just watching this girl Grace that I like that does these reviews on the internet, and she was talking about Spider Man, and all that stuff. But she was saying the same thing. It's like, I wonder how COVID is going to affect the second week of this movie because she's in New York. And she said the same thing. She's like, look, places are just closing, and usually New York is where it starts and then it spreads to the rest of the country. So hopefully here in Brazil, we'll make it to New Year's without stuff just recycling and us having to be restricted again because that's a pain in the fucking ass.
Yeah, Rebellion is already canceled, which is
Oh,
not
the New Year.
real. Yeah, it's not a big thing because I mean, obviously, it was canceled last year, and I was in
Yeah.
the area, and I swear there were still 3 million people on the street. So
Oh yeah,
that
so it's
that
Réveillon is not canceled here in Rio. So
okay.
they're gonna have it. They're gonna have the. I think yeah, they're gonna have the fireworks. Like I already see signs for like places. The Hilton is gonna have a party. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
there's
gonna be on.
parties for sure. There's parties
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. So
But
guys, um,
Carnival is sorry.
yeah, I
Is
was
What were
just
you gonna
gonna
Renee?
say,
say,
Renee?
yeah, I was just gonna say, thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah,
I
Renee's
am gonna
feeling
have
like
to.
crap.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no problem.
I'm fading, and my
I get
throat
it.
is like really scratchy.
Oh,
I
So
get
no,
it.
Renee, I
yes.
love you for being on. And we're about to go off too, guys, because I'm barely making it too. So we got to December, so I'm ready to wrap it up. Um, but I want to say thank you, Renee, for coming on. Whatever Renee's on, we have so much fun, and she's such a sweetheart. And we're gonna
Oh,
set up a little salsa dance when we're feeling a little better, you
oh,
and me, baby.
thank you.
And
Yeah.
the last thing before you go, Renee, and the real reason I wanted to have you on is because I wanted this to be a public announcement. Renee,
Are
will
you
you
asking
marry?
me to marry you?
Oh, come on! See now, you fucked it up. I'm not asking you anymore. Okay, you
Damn.
fucked it up. I almost had you. God damn it! You almost had me, bitch. You go and jump the gun like that. See, you took the whole romance out of the whole thing. Okay, I'm not marrying you anymore, but we can still be friends. Okay,
Okay.
I love you.
Well, wait. Let's rewind. Let's act like I didn't say anything. Go ahead.
Too late. Pete is a witness. Pete, she jumped the gun, didn't she?
I'm neutral as Switzerland on this, man.
Pete's like, I don't want to get involved in this shit. Got his own shit to deal with. All right, baby.
All right.
Go,
I
go,
love
go,
you.
go, because you're
Love
coughing
you.
and
All
I'm losing
right.
my
Thanks for
voice.
coming, Renee. We really
You're
appreciate
welcome.
it.
Thanks for having me on again.
Happy New Year.
And Phil, yes, I will marry you, Phil.
No, too late. And Pete will be in Rio, Renee. So you got to meet him in Rio because he's a crazy motherfucker. He's a
Oh,
sweetheart, though.
oh, good. I would love to meet you, Pete. Let me know when you're here.
All right. Yeah, I will probably be there from the 27th to the 30th.
There you
Okay.
go.
Awesome. Yes. So, Phil, give him my information, and
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
yeah.
yeah.
Could use a
All right. Well, you guys have
nightlife.
a good rest of the night. Enjoy the rest of the show. Thanks again for having me, and Happy New Year to everyone. Happy
Yeah,
holidays.
same to you, man.
And
All right.
follow her at Prandada Prem underline Tantra on Instagram. I'll link it in the comments after.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. All right. You
Bye,
guys have a good
guys.
night.
All
Bye.
right. Get well. Get well.
Thank you. You
Oh, poor Renee. She was suffering, but
Yeah,
I
no,
can
I've had full blown influenza twice. And yeah, you got to get those fucking flu shots, man. Because I had the flu last week, but I got a booster 2 weeks earlier, and it makes a huge difference. It's not like death sickness, it's like an inconvenience.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's rough. It's rough. For me, it's just this. I don't feel crappy necessarily. It's just the cough, and it's like it feels more like it's a bronchitis type thing. I'm gonna go to the doctor just to check what it is because I don't feel
Yeah.
crappy. I ran like 10 kilometers last week. I definitely don't feel crappy. But
Yeah, no, the worst
when you go
the
to
worst thing about the
bronchitis,
dry cough is it hits you when you're stationary. Like when you're trying to
yes,
sleep, you can't sleep because all of a sudden your throat's just burning and you're gagging. It's like
yes,
fuck, I feel like
exactly.
crap and I want to sleep, but now that I'm not doing anything, the fucking cough kicks in.
Exactly. No, early in the morning too, waking up like at least 2 times this week, I thought I was gonna cough up my lungs. So I was like, okay, let me
Yeah.
um, get this checked out. Maybe I need to get an injection or something. I don't know, but I'm feeling okay, guys. Otherwise, physically, like I said, I ran 10K last weekend. Ran another 10K the last weekend before because here's a little bit of news. I'm gonna be running the São Silvestre in December 31st, which is one of Brazil's, if not Brazil's oldest race. I think it's up there with either the oldest or one of the oldest. I think it's 1920 something was the first running of the São Silvestre. Just a race that starts on Avenida Paulista, goes all the way downtown. You do a bunch of little turns down there, and then you got to come back up, which I imagine is hell because it's uphill. It's about 3 to 4 kilometers of just uphill
Yeah.
to yeah, that's not going to be fun. The going downtown part is going to be fun because it's like 4K downhill and then flat, and then you got to come up. But I definitely want to be in good shape for that. But the the bad coughing and everything definitely leaves you with a little bit, which then makes your whole body feel kind of weird sometimes. But anyway, guys, I try. I just want to, really. Wait, there's one more thing I want to do here. One second. Oh, God damn it! I just got rid of a movie I was watching. I'll get back to watching it later. But I did want to give some shout outs to some folks that we had on this year that I thought really made a difference, and I wanted some more people to watch uh, their videos. And one, of course, is Daphne, because we kind of went on a different night. And the thing with YouTube is you gotta like be consistent. Otherwise, the algorithms get all fucked up, So we'll have like 200 views one week, 200 views the other week. And then if you stop for 2 weeks, the next video's got like 10 views. So watch that video on discovering Wicca in Brazil. Also, the story of Dilemma Beer, how to get into craft beer. You know, that was a really fun interview. Really nice guy there. Emily's husband, who runs the beer, Dilemma Beer, which is really good beer. And
Hmm.
also, I had a lot of fun doing our 2 interviews this year. The music ones, they were so much fun. I had so much fun
Hmm.
doing the music stuff. Um, so check those out. We didn't do that many this year, Pete. It was kind of fun. We did Remembering Carnival, how to thrive
Yeah.
in a small Brazilian city. That was a lot of fun.
Hmm.
How to teach English. That was cool. Your friend, how to manage a foreign restaurant. We ate some
Hmm.
poutine this year.
We did. That was a highlight of the year.
I dug it a lot. How to become a long-term expat. That was Watif's last interview, as far as I know, was with us. How to do business, make deals in Brazil was really good. Beverly was incredible. Beverly was
Yeah,
just
that was
like,
a crazy ass interview, man. She went like Oprah on us.
exactly. She's like, I'm gonna just let it all hang out, and good for her. I was
Yeah.
listening back to some of this. Um, Dating culture, of course. Renee was on there, and Maya was on there, and then we had a little trip to Ilha
I think that
Comprida.
was that was the big hit of the year, wasn't it? Didn't that get like, I don't know, 400 views or something?
That was a big one because it was a tribute to Atif, and dating always gets a lot of views. Dating stuff always gets a lot of views.
Yeah, people are
Dating,
tuning in for the day. They want to hear the sex. Yes.
I know it's dating,
And we
and
delivered. We delivered. So everyone got what they wanted.
but what is it? Dating and what you call it? Um, God damn it! Now I'm losing my mind. Um, Oh, stuff with digital nomad stuff, like all of that stuff. That gets a lot of views. It's almost impossible not to get views on that.
Yes, yes, and that was
Uh,
Latif.
yes. And then I just lost my page here. I'm going insane, guys. Give me a second. Just want to give a little retrospective, a little shout out to. I was only going to do a few, but I figured, hey, we didn't do that many. And I loved everybody that came on this
Yeah,
year.
yeah, yeah. Looks
So might
like
as well
lots of
just go
people.
down the list here. Oh, sorry. That's actually. Uh-oh, how do I stop this? All right, I'll do it like that. Sorry about that, folks. My computer just bugged the fuck out completely. We didn't have that many technical difficulties this year, I'll tell you that much.
No, no, my internet was. It's been pretty nice since I got my own modem. Actually, just
Okay,
helps when you
okay,
have
okay.
actual electricity in the building.
Yeah, so what I wanted to find out, Pete, is this. I wanted to find out when was, let me see. I'm trying to find the date for when we did our first stream live March 1st, 2021. So that was our
That was
first,
the carnival one. Yeah.
yeah, the first BJ together. So sweet. Good times.
Yeah.
But anyway, back here to this list. Ilha Cumprida. I went to this Ilha Cumprida this year. My friend Stephanie ended up going with her girlfriend or ex-girlfriend or who knows girlfriend. Um, about like last month. Great place, guys. Long Island, Brazil, Sao Paulo. If you need a little getaway, super nature, go there. And then we did the essential Brazilian albums. Yeah, like people don't listen too much to the Brazilian albums, but we got a nice viewership. But folks want to know about sex. How to learn Brazilian Portuguese, which I want to have this guy
That
back
was a
on.
really fun one, actually. I enjoyed
It,
that. Just seeing
it got a lot of views.
yeah, the attitude towards language. Well, not, actually, it wasn't so much because I think language teaching is the same no matter what you're teaching, but it was like bouncing the words off each other and getting
Yes,
his feedback on like where like I learned a lot from that. Not so much how to speak Portuguese, but just about the origins of like why people say things the way they do and what makes Portuguese a unique form of communication. So yeah, I really enjoyed that one.
I love we're having him back next year. We had a little bit of actually, I didn't see some comments here. Um, actually, Pete, something that we got to do for next year from Monique Bell. She says, "Hi Phil, I was wondering if you can do a video about the best cities neighborhoods to live in your opinion."
Yeah, I read that comment. Yeah.
Yeah, so we got to do that. We're gonna look. I got to do a little bit more research to do that for next year. And then of course, but Marcos, look him up. Or if you need a Portuguese teacher, you know how to reach him. Reach out to me. And apparently, I think I have an email address. I think it's Brazil Expat Journal at Gmail. But if not, just leave a comment, and I'll write the email in the comment. And then after that, we did mental health with Emily, which was really sweet. That was interesting talk. Gandalf from Belgium.
Yeah, that
Is
was unique. That was very unique.
He's a unique dude, real cool dude. And then I'm gonna be in trouble here because I forget people's names, but our Mr. our craft our brewmaster Vitor. Sorry, Vitor. I am terrible with names. For whatever reason, I didn't. Oh, I did put his name there with Vitor,
Yeah.
and then Daphne talking witchery, driving Pete insane with the witchery.
She didn't drive me insane, which is,
We love
I
Kimmy.
yes, I adore Kimmy. She's a great person. She's got a great heart, but I'm the sort of person that you can connect with people that you don't agree with on certain levels, and the other stuff is best alone. So that was like the Phil and Kimmy podcast. It's like, no, can't say anything nice. Don't say anything at all.
Okay, and finally, what is life like in Sao Paulo? Our man Vlad. Very popular expat, glad.
That, that was
And
fun as
last,
well. Yes, they were all
yeah,
fun.
two
They
weeks.
were all fun.
Yeah, and 2 weeks ago we did what are the essential Brazilian albums, Volume Two, which I'm gonna make a little blog post about these essential albums because I want to pump up these two videos. I think they were so nice. I thought the second one was even better than the first one. I want to continue to do this, and also, guys,
I
for next
know. I
year,
was so sorry I didn't plug
movies.
Far From Alaska's show because I didn't know they were playing when we did that podcast. And that was one of the
If
albums
I
I
wasn't
chose. And
feeling
then,
like
like,
shit,
yeah,
I
the
would have
next
definitely
day,
gone because I really dug their album. I listened to all of these albums, man. I made two
I
playlists.
listened to a few of them too. I listened to the Crocodile one. I have to say I didn't really get into it, but I could get what he's talking about. It like if you're a jazz fan, you'll like
Yeah,
it.
yeah. It was. I listened to a little bit of
I'm
that. I
not a
didn't.
jazz fan, so
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. But I've been listening to, including your. I was actually listening to the ones from, because I made two mega YouTube playlists for the first,
yeah, I know I saw them.
and the
Yeah,
second, and I'm just going down the list. So it's really funny because I go from like, I finish Alisa's album, which is this really soft, and then the next album, like, okay. And I dug it.
yeah,
Man, I got into
yeah,
that band. The one that I liked the best was the Ratos de Porão, do Porão. That was a great album.
yeah. There's two versions of that actually. They do one in English and one in Portuguese.
I don't know if you'd be
Uh,
able to understand them either language because it's. I
yeah,
don't think it makes.
exactly.
I don't think it makes a difference. I'm glad that the one that I found on YouTube it has the lyrics across the street, across the screen. So it's very political stuff, very cool stuff. It's like it could have been written yesterday. But I dug that album a lot. And the Velhas Virgens I kind of got into. It's kind of old school, bluesy rock, whatever. Um, but yeah, I was digging these albums. And that's it, guys. I got nothing more to say. I had a really good year. This last month and a half has been shit because I got conjunctivitis and then I got
Jesus.
a weird flu. Like, man,
It's not a
I got
weird flu. It's the normal flu.
I was just stronger than usual. I don't know. I've never gotten this sick before. But what happened? The I went to Thanksgiving, which was nice, Friendsgiving. But I caught something there because I was coming home already itching my eyes. I thought something got in my eye. Actually, I got something in my eye this year too, which sucked having the doctor scrape
Yeah,
stuff
I
in.
heard you got pink eye. Wow.
Yeah, but then this time, but this was pink eye. I thought it was more of that. I was like, ah, man, I gotta get scraped up again. But then I got the pink eye. But then I got the doctor's note on a Monday, stayed home. On that Wednesday, I started feeling shit. I was like, what? So then, ever since then, I have not been 100%.
I
Uh,
got the flu from kissing this girl that I've been dating,
oh boy.
and like I swear to God, like when she started sniffling and she told me like, yeah, I think I got the flu. I was like, fuck you, get the fuck out of my. I literally like I ordered her out of my house. Like, how dare you bring that shit to my fucking house and kiss
And
me
kiss me.
and not tell me you got the fucking flu?
I
And now
know.
I'm going over to her place for Christmas dinner. So
Oh, that's so sweet. That's so sweet. And that's
yeah,
another thing. So we found love. Pete found, well, I don't know if Pete found love, but he
not exactly, but you know.
found something. I'm kind of on the same vibe. I found something, but it's complicated.
Yeah.
So 2022 is gonna be a year of whatever. I don't know. But that's it. Okay, nobody decided to come in tonight, so that's fine.
It's unfortunate, but it made it nice and brief. We had Renee, and Renee is always enough.
Cool. See you guys. I'm gonna go watch me some more X Files. I'm actually getting into season.
Hurry up on that shit, motherfucker.
Yeah, and speaking of which, we are gonna get into X Files podcast, finish up season 8, 9. But man, January, I'm gonna do that shit like maybe second week of January. I need to rest, but I'm almost done, and then we'll get into Deep Space Nine because I'm gonna do that.
Excellent.
But I'll probably start watching it before, uh, you know, just. But I will be done the X Files probably in a couple weeks. Okie dokie, everybody. Love
All
you.
right.
Here's my
Happy New
outro music.
Year's, everybody. Merry Christmas, Merry Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, whatever you're celebrating.
Thanks for watching and supporting the Brazil Expat Journal, the BJ you can trust. And like and subscribe, which I should have said at the start, and share this. And if you need anything, well, we're here for you. Bye. Except for money. I don't know. I ain't nothing.
Yeah.